Hey, what's up guys? My name's Brian and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at a 1/4 inch, a 3/8, and a 1/2 inch flex head chrome handle ratchet from Capri Tools. And if you're new here and you're into tool reviews, project tips, tricks, and more, I hope you consider subscribing below. So we'll be right back. Now, as with every video, I try to be as transparent as possible. So I do want to let you know that Capri Tools did send me out these ratchets, and I actually wrote them and asked them for the chance to check them out. So with that being said, no matter what, I still try to be as fair and as unbiased as I possibly can when reviewing these tools. And I'm also going to just mention what I'm going to end up doing with a lot of these tools that I get, because I'm not doing this to get free tools. I'm doing this to try to help people. I'm doing this to try to make something. I'm doing this to try to be something. So the free tools to me is a nice bonus, but that's not what I'm in this for. I've got plenty of tools that I've already got, and I don't need free tools. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a lot of these tools that I get from these manufacturers, and once I get enough to where I feel like it's a solid start for somebody, I'm gonna go buy a Harbor Freight 5-drawer tool cart, and I'm gonna fill it with those tools, and I'm gonna donate it to a community college up the road. And when I do that, I will do a video so we can all check it out, because these guys starting out in the field, whatever field that may be, we all know we don't have a bunch of money, and some people's parents can't help them out. So hopefully I can help somebody out and get them started on a good career path. But today what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take a look at these tools, and we're gonna take these tools apart. We're gonna compare them to a few other 72 tooth ratchets, and I do have a couple that's not 72 tooth as well. But we'll talk about the internals of this. We'll take a look at the internals of this, and we're going to test any flex there may be in the handle. I'm not going to try to break these ratchets. I don't want to break these ratchets. I'm not interested so much into how much these ratchets can handle. Now, this 1/2 inch ratchet, I may be interested in how much that ratchet can handle, but I don't want to break it. There are plenty of videos if you want to watch somebody break tools, but I'm not here to break tools. I'm here to check the function of tools. I'm here to check if these tools are good or not over the long run, and if it's a wise purchase or if you're better off spending your money somewhere else. But before we do, let's talk about Capri Tools. Capri Tools is a tool company that is based out of California. They sell ratchets, wrenches, torque wrenches, vices, dead blow hammers, and more, including a lot of automotive specialty tools. So I really wasn't even aware that they sold all these tools until I started investigating and checking their website out. Now, all of their tools that I can see come with a lifetime warranty. Now, there may be some tools that come with a lesser warranty, as with torque wrenches and whatnot. I'm not 100% sure on that. They also offer a student discount. If you're a student and you're interested in buying Capri Tools, you can apply for their student discount program, and if accepted, for 1 year after the time you're accepted, you can purchase their tools with a 10% off discount. And they also offer special discounts for veterans. If you are an active member or have been a member of the United States military, you can write them, and once accepted, you get 10% off their tools for life as an appreciation for your service. So I do like that. Now, when it comes to the lifetime warranty, it is limited to the original purchaser of the tool, and it has to be from an authorized dealer of Capri Tools. Now, what they also offer is a reward system. And if you sign up for this reward system, just to sign up, they give you what they call 300 stars. So what are stars? Well, for every dollar you spend on Capri Tools, they give you 2 stars. And once you've accumulated 600 stars, they give you a $15 credit that you can apply towards your next purchase, which roughly equates to, if my math is right, around 5% cash back. So that is another nice thing that Capri Tools offers. And they are also offering, for orders over $99, 15% off. And from what I can tell, that applies to any order, no discount code needed. But now that we've talked about Capri Tools and their ordering processes and some of the benefits that you get from ordering from Capri Tools, let's talk about these ratchets. First, we have the 1/4 inch flex head chrome handled Capri Tools ratchet. This is tool number CP12000FX. Then we have the 3/8 flex head chrome handle ratchet, which is tool number CP12100FX. And then we come to the 1/2" ratchet, which is CP12300FX. Now you can purchase each of these ratchets separately, or you can purchase them as a kit. The 1/4" will cost you $24.99. That 3/8" ratchet will cost you $34.99, and the 1/2" ratchet will cost you $49.99. Now you can buy all three as a package deal for $99.99. And every one of these ratchets do come with the lifetime warranty that I spoke of, which is evident from the package and is described on their website as having a lifetime, no hassle guarantee. And all three of these ratchets are 72 tooth ratchets, and they all three are made in Taiwan. Another feature of this ratchet is what they call smart chrome. Now, from what I can find out about smart chrome is that it's a special process to where they polish and through chrome plating to where this chrome is supposedly supposed to be superior to normal chrome from what I can tell. Now, as we look at these, we do notice that this chrome, it does seem to be really nice. I do not see any manufacturing flaws whatsoever from the outside. I've looked these ratchets over quite a bit to look for any defects that I can find, and I can find no defects in all three of these ratchets. Now that we've went over the basics of these ratchets, let's go ahead and take a closer look and talk some more about what these ratchets offer. First thing I noticed when I was checking these ratchets out was the stiffness of the head. Now, these are new. I have used them a few times to check them out, and we'll use them again here in a few minutes, but they are pretty stiff. Now, as I've said before, usually when I get flex head ratchets, I pull this screw out and I apply my own industrial grade Loctite to that screw. But these here feel like they're pretty stiff. They will loosen up over time, and the problem that most of these flex head ratchets have is this screw will work itself loose over time, so I always like to add my own Loctite to those screws. But we can take a look at the lengths of these ratchets. The 1/2" is about 17.5 inches, the 3/8 is about 12 inches, and the 1/4" is about 6.5 inches or so. And when I pick this 1/2" ratchet up, it feels like a beefy, heavy ratchet. Now that's exactly what you want when it comes to a 1/2" ratchet. Now once you start getting towards your 3/8 and your 1/4" ratchets, you do want those ratchets to be lighter, and these ratchets are pretty light. And we can see the head of these ratchets are pretty slim. Let's get a measurement. The head thickness of the 3/8 is 570 thousandths. The head thickness of the 1/4" is around 440 thousandths. The head thickness of the 1/2" is around 705 thousandths thick. But another thing I notice about these ratchets is the way that the front plate is connected to the head. We can see a big, thick snap ring on these ratchets. And when we compare that to your Icon, which just has two little screws that hold the faceplate in place, there are different ways that these faceplates are attached. If we look at the snap-on, for instance, the screws actually go through the back and into the faceplate to connect the faceplate. And when we look at, say, a Matco, we can see it also has a snap ring that holds the front plate on. But we can see that the snap ring is a lot smaller than these snap rings. Now, in my opinion, the best way that these can be built is with a snap ring. It is going to be the most secure way. And then it's going to go to the pass-through bolts, and then it's going to go through the bolts that just connect the front plate. So that is actually a really good thing that they have these snap rings. And we can also take a look at the on-off switch in the back, and it is a nice heavy detent that pushes this from on to off. When we look, for instance, at the 3/8 Pittsburgh Pro on-off switch, which is the bane of these ratchets, it is almost non-existent as far as a detent goes, and these move really easy. So you do want a heavy detent on your on-off switch to lock it into place and for it to stay where you want it. when we look at the icon on-off switch, it does not have as heavy of a detent as the Capri ratchets do or the snap-on ratchets do. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull apart a couple of these ratchets and we're going to take a look at the internals. And what we're going to do is compare it to a Pittsburgh Pro 72 tooth half-inch ratchet. We're going to compare it to an Icon 3/8 flex head ratchet. And we're also going to compare it to a Pittsburgh Pro 3/8 flex head ratchet. Then, just for comparison's sake, we will also open up a snap-on to take a look at the inside of all these ratchets. Now, when comparing these, we are looking at different tooth count ratchets. We have the Pittsburgh Pro at 72 tooth, as I spoke, the Capri at 72 tooth, the Icon at 90 tooth, and the snap-on. This snap-on is actually FLF 936. And this is actually, I believe, a 36 tooth ratchet. So I don't have a snap-on FL80 ratchet here available, but this is just for comparison's sake. Now they do claim that this has, with it being 72 tooth, a 5-degree arc swing, while your 90 tooth ratchets have a 4-degree arc swing. So there is a difference in your higher tooth count arc swings. What is an arc swing? If you want to know, an arc swing is the amount that you have to engage this ratchet for it to engage a tooth. And then you also are going to experience backlash when coming back. But to make this 90-degree Icon engage, you have to go 4 degrees and it'll engage. So with the Capri ratchets, you have to go 5 degrees to make it engage. So let's open these up and take a look at the internals. Okay, now that we got the ratchets apart, we can take a look at the way they look. Now, we've seen this Pittsburgh Pro 72 tooth ratchet opened up many a times, and we can get a cleaner look right here. The way it's set up, it has a dual pawl design to where when you switch gears, that's all it does, engage one side or the other. Then we'll look at the Icon, and this is a 90 tooth ratchet, so it is different in the way it's set up. But we can look at the snap-on, and the snap-on is similar. The pawls and all look exactly the same. There is actually a spring which sets right down in there. Then you have your detent ball. The detent ball sets in that spring, and the pawl will engage one way or the other. But we can see the way this is set up, this has a square hole in the back to where the switch actually fits in that square hole. And we can also see there's a lip to prevent the switch from falling out the back of the ratchet, because once this is assembled, the switch drops in there. Your detent ball goes in the spring, pawl sets in there, the square cutout in the back of the pawl will hold the switch, and then your gear goes on top. And we can take a look at this gear, and we can see there's a flat back, and we can also see some grease. So these are greased, as we can see. Also, when we look at the 1/2 inch down inside, we do see some grease, and we could take a look at how this works, one side or the other. Now let's pull this snap-on apart. We could take a look at how there's 2 ears on the snap-on to set comfortably around the detent ball, which is the same exact way that the Capri is set up. And we can also see that the snap-on is similar in the way the switch fits into the pawl. Now, this spring was so loaded that when I pulled the pawl out, the detent ball shot across the room. So that's likely to never be found again. I'll see if I can find it after the video. But as we noticed with the snap-on and the Icon, the snap-on actually has an O-ring around the drive on the gear, where the Icon has a little spacer washer. The Capri Tools does not have any type of washer. Now, they claim that these are dust proof and that it will not allow any type of dust inside. And with the way the face plates fit on them, I would say it probably is. Shield it pretty good. And the way that the switch sets in, I don't believe that it would allow anything in from the back. So we can notice a big difference in all these ratchets when we compare it to the Snap-on detent spring. And that's going to be why the Snap-on locks into place so well. There's a lot of pressure pushing up on that pawl as compared to the other ratchets here. There isn't as much pressure pushing up, which does make it not lock into place as strong as the Snap-on. So now that we've taken a look at the differences of these ratchets and look at the build on the inside of these ratchets, we'll take a closer look at the pawl. And these are big, beefy pieces. And the teeth look pretty good. I don't see any marring yet, any wear patterns. So they do look pretty similar to the way the Snap-on is made. Now let's go ahead and put these back together. Now we can see I did crank down on a bolt a few times with this just to try to check for any flex in the handles, and they actually held pretty tough. I'm actually kind of impressed with them. I would rather them be a higher tooth count, but I mean 72 teeth, it's respectable. And for the price, I think they're priced pretty well. You can get all three of them, as I said, for $99, and they look great. They do look like they're made good. They feel like they're made good. How long will they last over the long run? I don't know, man. And, you know, I could go out here and I could take off a few bolts and show you that they work, you know, for a week if you want me to, but I feel like that, you know, that is going to show you work for a week. Now, the only thing I can do on these videos when I'm dealing with stuff like this is I can test it a little bit. We can take a look at it. We can see if there's any big weaknesses to it. We can see, for instance, if this handle were to flex really big, then we would have a problem. You're going to have some flex, obviously. You want some flex. These are not going to be just rigid, hardened tools. They're softer. They're meant to give you flex. They're meant to have a high yield strength, which means that you're able to put a lot of force on that ratchet and the ratchet be able to deform from its shape. And then when you let go, it's able to come back to its original shape. Once it gets past the point to where you're cranking it and it bends, then you've passed the yield strength. You go yield strength, then it's going to break at some point. So these feel pretty good. They look pretty good. You can tell a difference in this chrome. I can tell a big difference. When we compare the chrome to the Icon, to the Pittsburgh, to the Snap-on, now the Snap-on's older, or to the Mako, or to the Tecton, I can see a pretty big difference. So whatever the super chrome is that they're using, or whatever that process is, you can see a big difference. Is that all show? I don't know. But so far, they seem like they're pretty good ratchets, and I would be comfortable to use those ratchets. But as I said, I can't give you a long-term review on these tools. Now, I can come back later on down the road and try to use them. But when you're getting so many tools, man, you can only use so many tools. You know what I mean? I can't just keep using, you know, the same ratchets for 6 months. It will be 20 years before I could review all these ratchets. But with that being said, man, I'm going to end this. I appreciate you watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, go down and subscribe below. And as I said, man, I would feel comfortable using those ratchets. They look good. They seem like they're pretty heavy duty, man. We can see a big difference in the head size compared to the Icon. And the internals are a lot beefier than the Icon Flex head. Now the head is a little bit thicker than the Icon, and it's going to be a lot thicker than the Mako head because the Mako is even slimmer than the Icon. And when you're coming to a 3/8 Flex head, you do want a thin head ratchet. But as I said, you could get all three of these, $99.99, 15% off if you spend over $100. So you're looking at $85 when it's all said and done for 3 pretty decent ratchets, in my opinion. So thanks for watching, man. Until next time, stay real.